That's how we do that. So let's take the effects off of these lights. So you can do this. You could hit. I have some macros set up down here. You can stomp all running effects. You can stomp just the dimmer, the position, the focus, color, whatever you want to do. For this example, it's probably best that we just go ahead and hit stomp running effects. All right. So it will stomp the position and also the dimming effect on the floor 330s. But I don't want my floor 330s to totally go away, so I want them to come back in just on their value of 100%. And what we'll do now is let's select the top 330s. Let's tell the position fade time to fade out. Let's do 2 seconds. Dimmer's fine. There's no dimmer effect on it. For 330s, what we'll do the same thing. We'll do a fade time of 2 seconds to do an out fade, basically. So top 330s, select those and your 4 330s. We're ready to store into a different queue. So store Q3, and then boom. So it's going to go back to Q2 as soon as I hit clear. But when I hit go, watch what happens. All the effects are going to stop right there. So I did forget one thing. Let's go ahead and make the fade time on the 4 330s to fade back into just a regular value of 100%. Let's do 2 seconds, and then I'll hit, you can hit update right here. Hit update, and then just click where it says Q3, and it's good to go. So you might not be able to see it. You'd be able to see this example more in real life, but we'll see if you can see it again. To jump back really quick, like if you want to jump back to a queue and see your next queue, go ahead and select execution time at 0 seconds, so that way you can jump around the song very quickly, kind of like this. So we'll go to start, we'll go to intro, so it's fully loaded, and then let's hit go to Q3. So nice fade. The position up top faded out nicely. The lights down low faded out nicely. So now we're into a good verse look, like verse 1. So let's go ahead and rename this Q3 to, let's do V1, which stands for verse 1. And you'll notice if I hit go back to the first queue, we have another green box, which indicates we have individual fade times going on. All right, so again, start queue. We'll go to our intro. And then we'll go to verse 1. We have our look right there. And what we could do, if you wanted, let's do a pre-chorus real quick. Something simple. You don't have to throw in an effect for every cue. You can do something simple like the lights changing positions. So let's do our top 330s. Let's do center. And again, the lights probably look a lot different on the real stage rather than this. So don't really base your thoughts off of this position that you see in previs. It's going to look a lot different in person. And then we'll just do up middle for these. So let's select both of these, top 330s and floor 330s. And you could do this. Instead of going to position and doing value layer and then a fade, since you're doing just these lights right here, go ahead and hit store 4, which is going to be Q4. This will be our pre-chorus look. And then you can go ahead and just change this fade time right here. So there's no individual fade time set, as you see, the indication there's no green box. Let's just hit 6 seconds. So it's going to take these lights 6 seconds to go to their new position. And we'll name this PC, which stands for pre-chorus. It's cleared out. And then watch when we hit go. It's going to take 6 seconds. Oh, I hit go back on accident. Let's hit go. Verse 1, and then we'll hit go to pre-chorus. And you'll see it's taking 6 seconds for these lights to get into their new positions. So sometimes for a pre-chorus, the band is building, so it's probably nice to actually have these top lights go to maybe like an up position, maybe up middle. So we can update that. Let's just update it. And it's going to keep the fade values in, but it's going to change the actual position preset. So to see that example, let's do our execution time at 0, so that way we can go back really quick, ignore the fade time. Then we'll hit go. And you see that this is kind of a nice look for building pre-chorus. And then if you want the same kind of look that you had for the intro, what you can do from here is do, you can copy 2 at 5. So let's dial that in. Let's do copy Q 2 at 5. Hit please. And it's going to say Q only or status. Right now we'll just hit copy. And let's see what happens. Now it's probably going to hold these position values. We might have to redo those, but it might pull the effects back in. Yeah, so it kept the positions from the pre-chorus. What we could do is just, you could remember what you did, or you could probably do a status copy if you wanted to, but it's going to mess with your fade times as well. So it really just depends on what you want to do and the easiest way you can think of to do it. So I remembered, what the lights were at. So I remember the top 330s were in a flat position, and then the 4 330s were in a crisscross position. So let's make sure we have both of them selected, and all we did was mess with the position preset. So stay on value layer and then go to fade, and then let's do a quicker fade of 2 seconds, and let's do store 5. We'll merge that, and let's rename that. It says intro because we copied intro, but we'll name this C for chorus. C. All right. So let's clear that out. Let's go back and take a look at our work. Make sure that is a nice fade. And we might have to actually, no, the dimming looked just fine, the fade on that. So it carried over the actual fade time from Q2 and put it into Q5. So that looks pretty good. So you don't have to do that. You can make a new effect if you want, but just kind of showing you how to copy an effect. And then, very simple, out of this chorus, let's say they go right into verse 2. They don't do like an instrumental or interlude. Simply do copy Q3 at 6, please. Let's do copy and name this to V2, verse 2. And we didn't do anything in the programmer. We just really copied a Q, and we'll hit go. So from here, I mean, really like your first few Qs, that's where you're going to do a lot of work. Doing your effects and positions, presets, all that. And then really after that, after the chorus or interlude, you can really just do a lot of copying. You don't have to have a different look for a verse 2 or a pre-chorus 2 or even a chorus 2. Like, what I mean is like the middle part of the song. You can have it look the exact same as you did in the first part of the song. Probably where you're going to do more programming now is when you get to the bridge or the instrumental, which is going to be a third of the way, or more than halfway through the song. And you'll do some more detailed programming. And then after that, you can copy a chorus going out of the bridge. So we'll talk about that here in a second. We'll move on to our next video.